I've been saying for a while that Marvel really needs to slow down their release cadence because the quality of their work is
Suffering.
It definitely is, and it feels like they are finally starting to realize that, which is good. However, I've also started to notice another problem that is sort of in opposition to that problem, and that is that there are just too many characters getting introduced since Avengers Endgame, and most of them are being left underdeveloped and absent from projects for far too long. Think about it. Since Endgame, we have had Sylvie, Yelena, Kate Bishop, Shang-Chi, America Chavez, Kamala Khan, Cassie Lang, Moon Knight, all of the Eternals, the Werewolf by Night characters, Daredevil, She-Hulk, and now Gaia in Secret Invasion. And most all of them have not been seen on screen since their initial project. Now, not all of these characters need the same amount of screen time going forward, as some of them are more niche and meant to be supporting characters anyway, but I would assume that the idea is to eventually team a bunch of them up, like what happened in the Avengers in 2012. Now, the roster we just listed off is already insanely large, right? But you have to remember that we still have Sam Wilson as the new Captain America, Bucky Barnes, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Thor, Hawkeye, Black Panther, and Spider-Man all still hanging around as well, not to mention the X-Men and the Fantastic Four on the horizon for some time in the future. So just how and when are we going to see these characters be on a team and interact with each other? This is just too many people to do that in a meaningful way. Remember, we had 2 Avengers movies where the team roster was like 10 people or less, with more characters being introduced slowly over time. And having that smaller roster is important to developing the character dynamics between the team members, because if you have too many characters on screen, you just don't have the time to do that. Having just come off watching the pretty mediocre Secret Invasion show, the answer to what Marvel should have done presented itself. I saw posted on Twitter someone saying that Secret Invasion should have just been an Avengers movie, and that individual could not have been more correct. That alone could have solved this problem. Think about it. By this point in the early MCU, we would have had an Avengers movie where a bunch of these new characters teamed up together and solved a problem, and we get to watch how they all interact with each other. Pre-Endgame, we had an Avengers team up every 3 years leading up to the big Infinity War Endgame finale. That gave a nice narrative flow where every character would have a solo adventure or two, which would dovetail into a big team up. And since then, we haven't had an Avengers movie since 2019, and we aren't scheduled to until 2026 with the Kang Dynasty. Then the next one after that is supposed to be Secret Wars, which is apparently going to showcase like multiverse versions of characters that we know from the earlier films like Iron Man and stuff like that. And all of these things are going to take screen time away from our new team. You kind of seeing the problem here? Well, here's how Secret Invasion could have fixed it. Film opens, Nick Fury is given reason to believe that Skrulls have infiltrated the governments of the world and other high-ranking positions, including at least some of the existing known Avengers. Recently, though, not going to trample anyone's previous character development for this here. Fury feels like he cannot rely on any of the well-established and older Avengers members for help, so he forms a new team consisting of some of these newer and in-universe, lower-profile people. I think the most Avengers-type roster for this would be like Yelena, Kate, She-Hulk, America Chavez, Daredevil, maybe Loki if we're feeling silly and want to throw in a different Asgardian god here. Leaving out Miss Marvel because she's actually in a movie this year, and leaving out Moon Knight and some of the others because there's like that Midnight Suns team, which seems more supernatural based, and they'd fit better there, right? You can even keep all the stuff about Talos and his daughter from the actual show, but otherwise, it's Fury putting together this new Avengers team to uncover the Skrull conspiracy. Even maintain the spy movie feel Secret Invasion was striving for, and give that feeling that this new Avengers team is really up against the world, right? Then maybe they even fight the Skrull imposters of the more established Avengers at the end as a big action set piece or something. Oh, and ditch the idea of the villains being refugees. You gotta stop doing that. I don't know. I think that sounds like a lot of fun, and it serves a lot of different functions. It gets our new characters the screen time they need, fleshes out team dynamics that can be leaned on in future films, and is just more fun than what we got with the actual Secret Invasion show. But that's all I got. More videos coming up here soon. And check out my podcast, Play Pause Rewind, for reviews on new releases. Most recently, we have episodes reviewing Dead Reckoning, Oppenheimer, and Barbie. Thank y'all so much for watching. See y'all next time. Bye.